Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
I'm Andrew. We're my brothers, and this is the Dan and Andrew Show.
Where we give our opinions about movies and TV and movies about bad boys we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today? Well, Garfield's also a bad boy most of the time.
True. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Did you do anything fun recently?
No, just gearing up we're gonna redo our plumbing, so I have to move some things around and such. Um, and then watched the showcase. There was quite a few showcases. I don't even think it's over. I think there's still gameplay supposed to come tomorrow for Dragon Age, which I don't know if you saw the trailer, but it's getting crapped on pretty much.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it looks very like Fortnite. Like it was basically they were showing all the characters in the game. And it was very like Guardians of the Galaxy, where they like show them and like their title card, like very 80s sort of.
Okay.
And Dragon Age has always been like dark fantasy, and this is very like
not
exactly. So people are quite upset. I was also like,
there was several games that the trailers came out and I was like, doesn't look like what the games are, you know. I mean, I don't know, like Perfect Dark. I mean, that didn't look like Perfect Dark. They
people think it looks good though.
I mean, it looks fine, but I don't know. It looks a little too much for me. It's not very like the original Perfect Dark. Pretty basic. This is like a lot. Fable looked like Fable. That was the only one that I was like, this is exactly what I would think it would be. It's comedic.
It's pretty crazy that one that's like in-game graphics. Those aren't. That's pretty crazy. So I'm wondering how that one's actually going to play like.
I mean, it just looks like an updated version of Fable, and that's what people want. And if it is good, and if it is just that, it'll do well. I'm definitely will play it. I've played all of them. So, I mean, it might even be co-op because you have the guy too. Yeah. So
people are saying the Xbox showcase is the best showcase that has happened in a long time.
It reminded me of like the last E3 that they did. It was just like it was like 2020, and there was just like nothing happening. So they were just like, okay, hey, this stuff is coming, and people were excited. And then that was the last E3, I think. So, so we'll see. I mean, I think even the freaking Call of Duty looked okay. So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited, and this stuff will be free, most of them, because it'll be on Game Pass. I mean, free Game Pass. So I'm down. I mean, I'll be playing.
But even Call of Duty's on Game Pass.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for some things, but most of the stuff is next year, you know, and it's not even like dated next year. It's like sometime next year. So it could be March, could be December of next year. Who knows?
That's true.
So, and most of the time, if it's a game I like, the game most of the time is crap. So,
do you think you're gonna get Outlaws? I think that's like the only one you might be interested in.
We'll see. I mean, that's Call of Duty I'll probably play. That comes out in October, I think. Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens. I want to see what people think of the game. I don't usually.
So not pre-ordering. Okay.
No. I usually don't get any game immediately. I usually wait. So
they do have a Ubisoft Plus that's like $18 or something.
I think I got it for something, and I got rid of it. I can't remember what I got it
probably.
For. That was that Avatar game. That was literally Far Cry, just with an Avatar skin.
Oh, I thought you bought that game.
Oh, okay. No. I got Ubisoft because I wanted to try it and see what it was like.
Okay. So you can't even play it anymore, then?
Uh, I think that I tried it and then dad got it or something. It doesn't matter. Um,
Oh, okay.
that game was boring. It was like boring Far Cry. So, um, there's another
Did
Far
you at
Cry.
least get to the part where you could fly on the birds?
Yeah, oh yeah, still boring.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just going. You just go to a place. You talk to a guy. They go, okay, thanks, and then you go back and tell the guy that the guy said, okay, thanks. Most of the missions were that. It was just really boring. I mean, if I
Okay.
liked the world, I probably would have played it more, but I didn't because I don't really care about Avatar. So, um, yeah, so cool. Um, I mean, we'll see what happens. Um, but I mean, it was there was definitely there was more than one game that I was interested in. They even had a Gears of War trailer. I mean, there was like nothing about it at all, but I mean, they're gonna make another one, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean
that's
they're
the one I
going.
played for. I mean,
Yeah, they're reaching for the nostalgia there.
I
You
think I've
know.
played all of those at least for a bit. I don't know
Yeah,
about
and
the
they're
first
playing the
one, maybe.
little that one song with Dom or whatever.
Hmm.
Why can't I think of the song? Do you know the song?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Oh, okay, I can't remember. It's like
But
Adam Lambert or whatever, right? Or am I crazy?
I don't know. I'd have to listen to it again to be honest with you.
Okay.
Uh, but I mean, it was interesting stuff. I mean, we'll see. Um, all right. Well, did you watch anything this week?
No, in terms of television or anything. I mean, I've seen some anime, but nothing where I've like watched all of it or anything. So, no, not really. I don't even think I watched any other movies or anything.
Yeah, me and Dad started going to the cheap theater. It's like $3.50 for a ticket, and they're like second run movies or like old movies. We went and saw Star Wars, saw New Hope on Saturday, and then yesterday we saw the first Harry Potter. Um, and for two of us, we spent like $20 altogether for getting like popcorn and drinks and stuff. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, and it's like kind of their older style theaters or whatever, but they have like movie memorabilia and stuff there and stuff. It's not like just like plain hallways and you walk to your theater or whatever.
Hmm.
Kind of looks like an old theater. It's like neon signs and stuff. I like that. It's like pretty fun, like arcade out there in the front and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But that was fun. I mean, I have not seen either of those movies in a really, really, really long time. I haven't seen the first Harry Potter in a long time. It's a pretty good movie. Um, but there's some cheesy stuff in that in that
That
movie.
one's very kiddie, very
But I
kiddie.
kind of liked that. It felt more whimsical and less like serious. It's just like kind of fun. Like they're having fun. It wasn't like
Less serious black. Hmm.
yeah, exactly. There was no serious black at all. Um, but they actually set it up. It's interesting watching that one and the first Star Wars. Like they kind of set things up, and like there's things like I when I was a kid, I'm watching these movies and I'm not like picking things up, you know. But in the first Star Wars, they're talking about his father and blah blah
I mean, they
blah.
talk about the Clone Wars.
Yeah, they even say that. I it's like things that I didn't really pick up when I was a kid. And I haven't seen probably either of those movies in 10 to 15 years. So,
Mm.
and I've never seen them in the theaters, at least that not that I remember. So, I enjoyed doing that. That was fun. Definitely would go back, and
I
pretty cheap.
remember seeing the. It must have been a rerun of it because I think I saw the third one in the theaters.
We
But
saw
there's
the
no
third.
way.
We saw the third one in the theaters when it came out. It was like 2005 or something.
No, no,
2004.
no, no, no. I'm talking about. The one with Luke, the third one in the
Return of the
trilogy.
Jedi. Yeah, they put that out for the anniversary last year.
Oh, okay.
It was the 40th anniversary. I've watched 4 Star Wars movies in the last couple years in the theaters. They did Rogue One for Andor. They did the Episode One for May the 4th this year. Last year they did the anniversary, and uh, then I just saw this one. So I've seen 4 of the Harry Potter movies. I mean, Rogue One's kind of right before 4, so
You
you can
mean the
kind of
Star Wars movies, right?
yeah. You can
You said
kind of.
Harry
Did I?
Potter. Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Star Wars, but you can kind of stick Rogue One in there as like 7th movie there. So I mean, I it was fun. I like seeing them in theaters. There's something better about watching them in the theaters. The music, good John Williams scores for both movies, Harry Potter and Star Wars. So, um,
Yeah.
yep, so good stuff. I mean, I had a good time, um, and I didn't hate the movie that we're going to talk about today. And so that was 3 movies in a row that wasn't a good, decent time at the movies. So cool. Well, you ready to get into some news here?
Alrighty.
All right. So a couple more people are going to be in that the next Knives Out movie. Josh Brolin and Thomas Hayden Church. So you got a couple Marvel villains there. Uh, Josh Brolin was Thanos. He's also
Yeah, I
Cable.
know that. I don't know who the other guy is.
Thomas Hayden Church was Sandman in the Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Hey, he came back in No Way Home as well. So that cast seems to have filled out nicely now. So they have some more people, some seasoned and some the newer people. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. We'll see who the killer is and who's the one that gets killed. It's usually like a famous person is the one that gets the older one that gets killed, and then
Wouldn't that mean like Josh Brolin then is probably dying?
well, Glenn Close is in there, but she could be the one that does it. The one it's usually like a famous actor is the one that gets killed, and then the second famous actor is like the one that does it.
The killer. Yeah.
And we'll see. It could be another. It could be the third Marvel. Third Marvel. The third Avenger could be the killer because Jeremy Renner is in that movie. Yeah,
True.
you had
And
Captain America,
Captain
Hulk.
America was the first one, right?
Yeah, Edward Norton is the second one, and he was the
Oh,
Hulk.
true. Yeah, he was the Hulk. Yeah, that
Yep,
is true.
that's right. And then third could be Jeremy Renner. Could have Hawkeye. Could have original Avengers there.
Yeah. So it's the red herring before the movie even starts.
Yeah, well, in if you look at the posters for the movie, it it says Daniel Craig is first build, and then it says the second build is the killer in both the last 2 movies, because there's Chris Evans and Edward Norton, and then the and credit is the one that gets killed. It was Christopher Plummer and Dave Bautista in both of the last 2 movies. So we'll see if that continues. So if you see uh Jeremy Renner second build and credit as Josh Brolin, then we might know what's happening. And that way, Hawkeye would have killed Thanos there. We'll see what happens.
True. True.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm excited. I'll definitely be watching that movie. Speaking of Marvel stuff, you got the guy who is the villain in everything. Giancarlo Esposito has joined Captain America 4 as the villain. It's confirmed that he is going to be a villain. We're not sure who he's playing, but he's being added in as a part of reshoots. So we'll
Oh
see what
boy.
happens.
Good
So
old reshoots.
yeah, well, every movie does reshoots, but we'll see if it's because the movie is bad and is a disaster, or they're fixing it. We'll see what happens. Um, but I just think it's funny that that guy is like literally in everything, and he's the villain in everything. Marvel, he's villain in Star Wars, Breaking Bad, other stuff that I can't remember. The Boys. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, he's a good actor. Even Far Cry, he's a bad guy in a Far Cry game. Um, so we'll see. Uh, so they're making another Predator movie. The same guy who did Prey. It's called Predator Badlands, and Elle Fanning is the lead. They cast her as the lead. Dakota Fanning's sister, Elle Fanning. What has she been in? She's in Maleficent. She's Aurora.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. She's in the TV show The Great, where she plays Catherine the Great. I think that
Oh
show's
my
awesome.
god.
That's a good
Never hear
show.
the end of the show.
That's a good
Gosh.
show, and I think she's a good actress. So I
Well,
liked the last movie,
you're
so
great.
they're great. I agree. So we'll see. I mean, the Prey was the first movie we talked about on this show, so I'm sure we'll talk about that new Predator movie there. Uh, and I thought that Predator movie was pretty good. Prey. So
What a starter. Prey. The movie that three
we
people saw.
we picked it. I mean, could have picked anything, but we didn't. So it was whatever was out at the time, like 2 years ago. So yep. Anywho, cool. That's all
Whatever
the
news we.
that's all the news I have.
Okay.
We're gonna get into the trailer train here. Hop on board here. Um, well, speaking of Predator, let's talk about Alien Romulus. What'd you think? Pretty scary.
Is this a different one than the other alien horror thing, or is this the same one?
What do you mean?
We haven't seen a trailer for this one, right?
There was like a teaser trailer where it was just like kind of showing like the ship and like there was no like,
Okay. I thought that trailer was a lot better than this one.
oh,
I
you
feel
didn't
like we
like.
just saw the whole movie at this one.
Well, I mean, it just looks like the first movie. I saw the first one recently because they had the re-release. It was like a 40th anniversary or something, and or 45. Yes, 45, 79 was that first one comes out with Sigourney Weaver, and there's a lot of shots that are exactly the same as that. Fede Alvarez is directing it. He directed Don't Breathe and the Evil Dead, the one of the Evil Dead movies, like the remake Evil Dead movies, and his movies have been known to be pretty brutal, pretty intense. So I mean, he seems like a guy that would make sense to make this very visceral. You know, they have like
Yeah.
it looks creepy. Uh,
Aliens putting things in people's mouths and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Looks very, very much like the original one. Looks like they're gonna just make a like similar to that one. And the first one was pretty good, and they even have the reveal of the title in the trailer is exactly like the first movie, where it's like piece by piece, and it says Alien.
Okay.
That's all of that is homage to the original. There was they had before we saw the re-release of that movie, there was like him and Ridley Scott talking or whatever, and he's definitely inspired by that movie. And the movie is very close, looks like that. So we'll see how that movie is. But it doesn't look bad. I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks decent. But I mean, we're not like big horror guys, so yeah. But
Yeah.
you can tell that he cares and is what's it called, inspired by that original movie. Um, Speaking of aliens, Venom 3, what's it called? The Last Dance or something? I think that's what it's called.
Does anyone care at this point? I guess someone's seeing these movies
Someone do.
because
The
I
first one made
wasn't seeing.
like the first one made like $1 billion, or like almost $1 billion, which is crazy. Um, I don't know. I'm not a big Tom Hardy guy. It looks fine. Um,
I think it just looks bad. I don't like him turning the horse
yeah,
into a venom thing. It just looks dumb. Like I don't know.
I think. Well, yeah, I think a lot of people like Venom, and then people like Tom Hardy. Um, People have liked the first one. I thought the second one was horrible. Um, so they've had a different director every time. Um, so and I think you can tell they're different. Like each movie has almost a different feeling completely.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. Um, there's some new actors in it that are decent actors. I think it's interesting that they're having that guy who is in Doctor Strange is a different character in this. I wonder if there's some kind of crossover there.
I
Um,
doubt it. I'm sure he just got the job or something. I don't think it's like pseudo casting or something and
yeah.
they're five braining it. I don't think so.
Well, they left. There's like at the end of No Way Home, they have that like part of the symbiote gets left behind or whatever. But it looks like he takes it, picks it up in this trailer. So that would be a complete wash of that as they did before.
Honestly, I don't care.
Well,
Just hopefully this is the last Venom and we don't gotta watch anymore.
it's called The Last Dance, so you would think it would be, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see how it does. I am curious how it actually will do. But all right, let's talk about Killer's Game. This was a movie that I heard the premise of a couple weeks ago when CinemaCon happened, and now we actually have a trailer for it. You got Drax and Mantis there, um, and then others that I can't remember now that are in this.
Uh, yeah, there was like a ton of famous people that were doing cameos and stuff, right?
Yeah, as the different assassins.
Yeah, they're in the John Wick universe or something.
No, they're not. But they want
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like the same premise.
they probably want you to think that.
Yeah, I know it's not in the John Wick universe. I was
Yeah.
just making a comment.
Let's
Um,
see. Yeah,
I
Sophia
don't know.
Botella, Batista, Palm,
Yeah,
Bruce
his
Willis.
love interest. She's like, how does she keep getting work? Because she's like the worst actress.
She's got a look to her, and she can do action. I think she was like a gymnast or something before. Scott Adkins, Ben Kingsley, Terry Crews, Drew McIntyre, another wrestler in there. I don't think he's probably not a good actor, but you know. So yeah,
Uh,
you definitely have some cameos and stuff. Um,
yeah.
we'll see how that does. I mean, I'll see
For
it.
a movie that's marketed basically to like only me, I thought it looked pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's coming out September. I mean, I don't even think this is like big, big budget movie or anything. Um, yeah, I mean, I've never heard of this director in my life, so it's probably just going to be. They probably made it for like 5 cents, and then they'll just try to. The director was a stunt person, so just like try to do like you know David Leitch or whatever, doing
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Not everybody
copied
can
a
be that.
little too hard.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll
Not
probably give it
only did you copy John Wick, you copied the Queen Latifah movie where she's gonna die, and then he's like, "Oh, there's a piece of popcorn in there or something. You're not gonna die."
Last Holiday.
Yeah,
Could you imagine if he said, "Sorry, I dropped my popcorn in your X-ray and I was
yeah.
wrong"? That would have been
I
funny.
can't remember what it was, but
Last
it was
Holiday,
something
yeah.
dumb.
No, he said it was like just like a malfunction
It
or
was just a
something.
smudge or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I dropped my ketchup when I was looking at the image. Um,
Yeah.
all right, well, so Andrew's not that excited. How about a Lego movie about biopic about Pharrell?
This looks so stupid. I don't even know who came up with this idea,
Him,
but okay. Um that's just goofy. I don't know.
not excited.
I I mean, I wouldn't have been excited if it was not Lego and then you made it Lego and then I'm even less interested. So,
Yeah, I mean, eh. I mean, it could be worse.
I guess if that's the
Let's
best
see.
thing you got to say about it, then yeah.
Uh, so this guy, the director, is a definitely a documentary director. He directed uh, that uh, documentary about Mr. Rogers that did really really well. I think that got nominated for an Oscar. Um,
I think
so
they did it Lego because none of these people can act worth a stick, and
I think that it might just be he wanted to do something different and creative. I mean, he's a pretty creative guy. I mean, he does like everything when it comes to the music that he makes. So most of the time. So we'll see. Maybe he just likes Legos. I don't know. I think they're trying to do something different. Maybe it keeps people's attention more. Something fun. I don't know. I just thought
I
it
don't
was.
know.
I just thought it
I'm
was.
just telling you, I'm out the door already.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think. I mean, you're. It's a documentary anyway, but you know,
yeah,
it just piqued my interest just because
the
it was something
Legos will
different.
bring all the people in, and it'll make $1 billion because
Well, I
Legos.
mean, it's a documentary, and I don't think any documentaries made of that much money or even close to that much money. So we'll see.
Well, they weren't Lego
That's
documentaries.
true. That is a good point. Cool.
The
All right.
missing ingredient.
Well, I got nothing else. You got anything to talk about before we get into these reviews here?
No, I'm ready. Which one
All
are we
right.
starting with?
Let's start with Garfield, just to feel like there's not that much to say on that one. So we can start with that. So, what did you think?
Usually I would call this movie dog water, but in this case it was cat water.
Cat
It was
water?
pretty terrible.
I don't think it was terrible. I think terrible
It
is unfair.
it was below average for me.
Oh,
Literally, not a single joke was funny to me.
oh that's too bad.
Uh, I I don't know. It doesn't help that I'm not really any kind of Garfield fan. There was almost nothing. Nothing new was done with this property. Chris Pratt putting in another terrible performance yet again. Um, and I'm sure they'll make 20 more of these for some reason. It didn't do well.
Did okay, but this Memorial Day was one of the worst Memorial Day in 40 years.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's because that was a terrible freaking movie. It
well
was
that
not.
that and Furiosa didn't do well. It was a I mean, it's going to do fine. But not I mean, it wasn't made for like 160 million. It was made for like 80 million or something. So, it'll probably make its money back, but nothing like exciting or anything. I mean, I
Well,
thought
if
the movie.
they do a second one, it's gonna be worse than it was this time. I can tell you that.
I doubt they will, just because I feel like it's gonna do okay. Um, I mean, there's I I thought the movie was fine. I thought it was cute enough. I liked the opening stuff where when he met John or whatever. I think that stuff was cute. Thought he was cute. I think I laughed a couple times. I don't think it was particularly long or anything. I mean, it. I feel like it dragged a little bit more towards the end, but it wasn't like too bad or anything. I mean, I took it pretty much at face value. I wasn't like,
I'm trying to remember what happened in this movie because I did see it a week ago and I'm struggling to even remember any amount of details. It just was just a nothing burger of a movie.
hmm,
And it was just like, haha, Garfield's fat and eats a lot of lasagna. Ha ha ha. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they're
four.
just okay. I'm at like a 6,
You think this is an above average movie?
maybe like a 5.5.
Okay.
Well, even if I said 5, it's the average. I didn't think it was bad or below average. I thought it was fine. So fine, 5, 5.5.
There you go. Well, I don't know where this six was coming from.
Okay, I was maybe slightly lower. Okay, 5.5, something like that. I'm gonna go 5.5 because I mean I didn't hate it. I didn't walk out and go, ugh, I hated that movie or what a waste of my time or anything. I thought it was fine. I mean, it was. I didn't dislike it. I thought I was fine. Um, I do remember what happened in the movie, and I saw it like 3 weeks ago. Um, so I mean, I thought it was funny enough. I mean, it kept my attention, and it wasn't just fart jokes or whatever. It wasn't completely just whatever. Um,
I don't know. It was just him like hitting signposts and trees, and
I mean, I maybe I have a higher tolerance for stuff like that. Maybe I think that stuff is funny to me.
I guess I just think it. I don't think anyone was really asking for this movie, and then they brought it back and did nothing with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I feel like
think.
it's just like an insult to the Garfield that came before,
Yeah,
even though a lot of them aren't that good, anyways.
I think
But
that first of all, it shouldn't have gotten Chris Pratt. Should have been somebody else. He just doesn't really fit Garfield. Um, Chris Pratt stuff usually is upbeat, happy-go-lucky characters, not Garfield. So I don't think he really made sense. But I mean, I kind of liked the stuff with the cow and the bull. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was fine.
cringe.
It was fine.
Just all done.
I mean, it was serviceable. Is another word I would use. I mean, I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I don't think it was below average. There was much worse movies than
Cool.
this. Uh,
Well, instead of seeing this movie, I'll go to the gas station where it's serviceable.
that's good word use there, I guess. I mean, you could, yeah, definitely you could wait at home if you had kids or whatever and you wanted to watch something and you hadn't watched it and watch it at home or whatever. It's not. I don't think you would be like ugh or whatever. I'd be like fine.
Just put on Moana or Frozen
Yeah.
2 for the 80th time. It's
Well,
probably more enjoyable.
if you want another one to put something else, something different, you could do that. I don't think it was that bad. I thought it was just fine. But I'm not surprised that you didn't like it. Um,
They burnt the lasagna.
all right. Burn the lasagna. All right, cool. So we're moving on from that, I guess. Right?
You don't want no spoilers? Because I can't remember any.
Do we really have to? Like, I mean,
No, no, I'm just kidding.
the basically the whole movie is in the trailer with his dad and everything. Like, you kind of know what's going on. There's like a villain that they have in the movie that isn't in any of the trailers or anything, but it's not like it doesn't really add nor
Yeah,
subtract. It's just fine.
nah, she's forgettable. Her motivations are terrible. It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense. It's just a kid's movie. Don't think about it. It's a cat being mean.
yeah, it's fine. Um, yeah, didn't bother me. Um, So no, there's no real like spoilers to get into. No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. I didn't really have much to say about the movie. I thought the movie was fine. So
All right. Well, let's get into this other movie then.
all right. Next one is Bad Boys Ride or Die. So thoughts?
What, you want me to go first?
Yeah, I
Well, this
usually
was
do.
definitely better than Garfield.
Uh huh.
Um, I actually thought it was pretty funny, and I
Yeah,
went in with very low expectations. I thought
me
it was
too.
gonna just train wreck everywhere. Um, I don't know. I'd probably give this like a 7. I actually thought it was pretty funny. Um, their dynamic is still funny. I thought this was better than the last one, and they still had to follow up that god awful plot that they came up with in the last one.
I can confirm to you that this was better than the last one because Dad watched the last one like the day
Hmm.
before, and I walk in and he's watching it, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, it might not be bad to watch, because the last one came out like 4 years ago. So it's like, might not be a bad idea to like sit down and watch some of this. And I was like, oh yeah, I did not like this movie very much. I thought that movie was okay at best. I mean, I thought it was fine. That was like a 5. That movie, maybe even less. I just it was kind of ridiculous and not really funny. And yeah, the story is really goofy.
It's it's like Fast and Furious levels of dumbness of
Yeah,
the
but it's
plot.
not even as fun as Fast and the
Yeah, it's
Furious
not
to me.
fun.
It
Yeah.
was just like kind of a slog, and that movie was like really long. It's like over 2 hours. The last one, it's like a slog to get through that movie. Yeah, I did not like that one particularly as much. Um, this one, so in direct comparison, this one looks fantastic in comparison. Um, that movie. I remember when it came out because I was doing my little lists of the year. That was near the bottom of that year, which was 2020, and that was a year where there was very little movies that came out that year, and that was still near the bottom of the list. So yeah, this one was much better. I thought the action was better. I thought the jokes were funnier. I thought their chemistry was actually better in this one. The other ones felt like artificial, like they were like, okay, well, we haven't acted together in a long time, and we're still kind of getting back into it. And then this one felt like, okay, well, they have done one recently, so they're kind of they know the dynamic again, and it kind of
Mhm.
did different stuff with it, and they're kind
I
of back
mean,
in
their
the groove.
dynamic saved this movie. There's
Yeah,
still some bad parts in this movie.
yeah,
Um, Mainly the scene with the lady comedian that I'm blanking out on her name. That scene was just
yeah.
absolutely
It
horrible.
was bad, but it was like short. So like that's something that you can like honestly, I forgot about that until you brought that up. And I saw it
Yeah.
like 2 days ago. So,
Well, my point is there are some very low lows, but
yeah,
overall, their dynamic
I thought
makes the movie.
and it moved faster. It moved way better than the one before. Uh the last one was like really slow, like the pacing. This one was like at least things are happening. They're like going from place to place and there's action happening and stuff. There's just at least more things going on. So that's good. Um, and they did what they could with the crap that they were dealt, even though it's the exact same people that made this movie than the last one. But
Yeah, well, they served themselves their own crap.
they served
So,
themselves crap and then they kind of just went, yeah, that happened kind of thing. It was like they just moved on and um, Uh, my problem with it is that they brought in new characters and they didn't do much with them. The lady from Better Call Saul, she was the blonde lady who's the supposed to be the captain's daughter.
oh,
She's a good
yeah.
actress. She was nominated a bunch of times for Emmys for that show, and she's just there. and she plays a character who's like, I'm tough lady. That's it. She
Yeah.
was
There's a
wasted.
lot of those in
The
this one.
villain, there's one villain who's like, I'm just a jerk guy, ex
Yeah.
mercenary guy. I'm a bad guy. And it's like, yes, you're a bad guy. We know you're a bad guy. You killed people. You're a bad guy, you
Yeah.
know, but
And
he's
this, and
forgettable.
yeah,
Um,
everything about this movie was pretty generic.
there's no, there's no twist that I didn't see coming or I didn't call the moment I saw. I was like, that's it. It was like,
I'm
called
like,
it
hello,
immediately.
bad guy. That's what I said to Laura when he came out.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I knew it exactly, and I'm sure you knew it exactly. But I was like, okay, got it. The I think they brought back the people from the last one, except for one guy who he's doing like indie movies, and he's like trying to go for Oscars and stuff, so he didn't come back for this one. Um, but they had the
If you
young
say
people.
so.
There's three
Yeah.
young people in the
Yeah, there's
last
only
one, and
two
there was
young
only
ones.
the two of the young people come back. The ones that aren't doing anything. Those are the two that come back. The blonde guy and Vanessa Hudgens. The Charles Melton, he was in on like movies that people
Yeah.
thought were really good
Who were
last year.
basically just used as like eye candy in this movie for some reason.
Uh,
That's it.
yeah, I mean they're part of the team or whatever, and even the captain lady, she was just kind of there too, and it was like they were kind of hooking up Will Smith and her in the last movie. In this one, he's literally getting married, so it's like, okay, just kidding, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're thinking with that, but so there's just things that's just like, okay, and there wasn't any new additions that were like good. I mean, the guy from the last one, who's a bad guy in the last one, he's a good guy in this one. Um, he does fine, but
Yeah.
they're just doing the same stuff. Um, Martin Lawrence was very funny in the movie. It was kind of more about him. The last one was more about Will Smith's character. This one was more about him. I mean, at least the main storyline. There was still stuff with Will Smith, but it was mostly about Martin Lawrence's
It was
character.
dumb. I'll talk about it in spoilers, but yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, I could see. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, the crowd that you probably saw it with is probably
Oh, what crowd? There was no crowd for me.
there was no crowd for you. Okay, there was a crowd for mine, and they were primarily not white crowd, and they were
No, yeah, I
people
can
were loving
imagine.
this movie.
I'm
People
not
were
saying this movie
laughing.
was bad or
I
anything.
had people laughing, clapping, like the scene. There's a scene with the son-in-law. People clapped after that scene. Um, you don't remember the
Oh,
son?
okay.
Yeah, you know what scene I'm
Oh, yeah,
talking
I
about.
know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. I had to think about it. Yeah.
yeah. So, and people really like that scene. And when people were revealed or whatever, they were like, mm-hmm. People were like really into this movie, um,
Mm.
more than probably I was, or whatever. But I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was fun, and it kept my attention. It was shorter, less than 2 hours instead of like 2.5 hours, so that's good. I thought it was overall pretty decent movie. I'm also at like like a 7. But it's better than some of the quite a few of the movies that I've seen so far this year. Um, will it be on my top 10 of the year? Probably not. But
Definitely.
I still thought it was a good middle of the road movie, and I was kind of going, ugh, I don't know if I want to see this movie, but I was fine with seeing the movie, and there was lots of good action set pieces, drone shot type stuff, and
It
I
was fine.
I think if we've seen like these John Wicks and stuff like now, so we kind of gotten like peak action stuff now.
Spoiled,
Yeah, spoiled. So,
spoiled
but
action
I still think
stars.
they did some interesting stuff, and it was like kind of fun. Um, there's a scene where it's kind of like like a video game where you're like first person and you're like
I thought
shooting
that
stuff.
was terrible.
Oh, okay. Well, some people, I thought it was pretty good. I
I
don't know.
just thought it didn't look very good. I don't know. Laura couldn't even watch it, so
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, that's a different thing. That's
yeah,
not the
and
quality.
there was the helicopter scene, and it was getting to like Fast and Furious levels of ridiculousness where he's
Yeah,
on the roof of the helicopter holding a cage by a rope with the guy in, and it's spinning around so fast that there's just no way a human being would be able to do the things they're doing. But
I literally don't even remember what you're talking about.
okay, they go in a helicopter
Okay.
because they're moving him for so he can
Oh yes.
testify or
Okay. Yes. 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 Yes.
do
Yes. Yes.
whatever he needs to do.
They're just
And yeah,
moving
they're
him. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The cage
yeah,
thing. Oh, they're holding him. Okay. Got it. I
yeah,
literally took me a sec. I thought you were like, what? I was so confused. Like, I was thinking
yes.
like dog cage, like little cage. I wasn't thinking like cage, like I don't know. I don't, like I said, I needed more explanation. Okay. Yes. I mean, well, first of all, the second they're in a helicopter, you know that helicopter's going down. So,
Yeah, I knew that what was gonna happen. I mean,
yeah.
everything about this movie was you knew what was happening already. It
Yeah,
was just
yeah. But
a
also
bit
it's in the
goofy.
trailers and like I heard things about the movie, the scene with the son-in-law. I heard that these are like crowd pleasing moments or whatever, so I knew something was gonna happen. So yeah. We can get into spoilers unless you have some more broad thoughts to say.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I would give it a 7. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Better than I thought it was going to be. You're also at a 7, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you're competing in this genre of movie to be like an 8 or a 9. You're looking at like Shanghai Noon, and you're looking at Rush Hour, like top of the line action plus top of the line like comedy.
Hmm.
Um, so you would have to make a really good movie to be an 8 in this genre for me, anyways.
Yeah, I think that like a buddy cop movie action comedy has been done so many times, and it's been done forever. I feel like they had
Yeah,
them in the 70s, they had them in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. They've had them for a long time. To make a really good one, it is difficult. Like even like a Lethal Weapon and stuff like that. They've done this forever. Like a
yeah,
Beverly Hills Cop, they've done action comedies a long, long time. Yeah, yeah, Rush Hour stuff like that. So yeah, it is difficult to get something new. I mean, even Bad Boys. The first one, Bad Boys, came out 20 plus years ago.
yeah.
So they're even competing with themselves. Michael Bay is in this movie for a second. He's a cameo. Um, uh,
Okay, I didn't
you
know. I know there's a few cameos, and there was like all of them were bad in my opinion.
so
So,
Michael Bay, he almost gets run over. Will Smith almost gets run over. He stops, and that's Michael Bay.
oh,
He's
okay,
like,
that was
"Hey, get out of the
my
road" or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when he almost runs him over, and he's driving the car that Will Smith drives in the first one. He's driving the same kind of car. Um, and then right after, there's some guy, some like TikTok guy or whatever. I didn't, I didn't,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know
I
who you're
didn't
talking
even know, but people in my audience went, "Oh, that guy," and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And the guy is literally known for being like, "What?" Like,
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's so funny. I was like, "That's how I felt when he came up." I was like, "I don't know what's going on."
I didn't really think that joke was particularly funny, but
Now it makes
he
sense.
probably got sponsored to do something with them or something, and
That
that's why he's
guy,
in them.
that guy has like 160 million TikTok followers.
Yeah, he's like, isn't he like the biggest one?
He has he has like, I looked that guy up. He has like 6 of the biggest TikTok videos of all time. 6 of the 25 top viewed TikTok videos or something.
Gotcha.
Literally didn't know about that. Like he's in Fortnite. Like I've
Yeah.
I've seen him before, but I was like, I would not be able to pick that guy out or something. He's like from Senegal or something. Um,
Honestly, that scene looks like it doesn't belong in the movie
oh yeah,
almost. It
Yeah,
looks like it's a TikTok or something.
yeah, it was weird. But I mean, that might get younger people in. Maybe I don't know. Like DJ Khaled. I don't know. Does that get young people in? I don't know.
That was so dumb, and he just gets like literally roasted.
Absolutely destroyed. Yeah, run over so badly. There was
Ooh.
there was fun stuff in the movie. The scene with the son-in-law where he just literally becomes John Wick and kills like 15 guys was pretty cool. It was a pretty good scene in the house.
When does he do it?
They're attacking
Oh,
a
yeah,
town,
that was so random,
and he's like, "I'm a
and
Marine." Yeah,
yeah, and then the part I didn't like about it was just them showing them reacting to him killing people, where they were just
yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
oh, that's gonna hurt real bad."
I like.
Like, that's so cringe to me.
I thought it was funny, and I like at the end where they're at the little barbecue or whatever, and he's like, "I'm gonna let him cook his chicken."
That
I'm
was
not
funny.
messing. I'm not messing with this guy. And then he smiles.
Anything with Martin Lawrence, that was funny.
Yeah,
I was laughing the whole time.
when he's slow motion trying to eat a jelly bean, and then the wrong one, the one hits the other
Yeah,
one,
it
and it's
was
like a
really
black jelly bean.
goofy, and then there's this
Yeah,
whole thing with an alligator for some reason
I thought that was
that
fun,
had
and you knew that was coming too because they're like the white one's still there,
yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
look at this information on this local area,
yeah,
alligators, blah, blah.
yeah.
It's like so dumb.
I don't know. I thought it was fun. I'm totally cool with goofy stuff. That works for me. I have no problem with that. Goofiness doesn't equal bad, as long as it's not actually just bad. So, uh,
Well, as long as they're not trying to take it like it's a serious movie like they did in the
yeah,
last
that's
one,
what I said.
and they yeah.
I would talk to Dad after, and I was like, they not show, they're not doing taking it so seriously. They're taking it fun, like they're understanding that it's ridiculous, and they're it's all kind of played for laughs later, you know what I mean? And I'm sure it wasn't a mistake that Martin Lawrence slapped Will Smith like 5 times, uh, you know so that
Yeah,
was pretty
I
funny.
do think they missed a joke that they definitely would have never done because it would have been distasteful, but I would have laughed so hard. But at the end, the villain has his wife and him, and he literally says, "I was talking to your wife." He should have said her name, and then he should have said,
Oh,
"Get John."
yeah.
That would have been the funniest thing I've ever seen if they had done that. Oh
Well,
my
I'm just
gosh.
saying it definitely wasn't a mistake that Will Smith got slapped a bunch of times. I'm sure
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was there for that reason. But I mean, I
yeah.
thought that was pretty funny. He's just like slapping him.
The Will Smith panic attacks
Mm.
was like just something for him to do. I thought
Oh
that
yeah,
little subplot was really
I was
it should have
okay
just been
with
cut.
it, but they did it too many times. They did it like 4 or 5 times. I think if you did it like 3 times is enough, but they did it quite a. It was like every time something happened, he's like having a panic attack. I was like, okay, we get it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, it was fine. You don't resolve panic attacks by slapping people and getting them hyped
Yeah,
up.
that was also the other thing. Like the resolution of it was just a
He
nothing burger of a
he got
thing.
over it.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty much what it was. Yeah.
That's how we deal with panic attacks in real life. We just
It's
get over it.
yeah, it doesn't. You don't like have to calm down or anything. You hype yourself up. Yeah, whatever. It was funny enough. I mean, I thought the movie was decent. I didn't dislike it. I'm kind of surprised. I had rock bottom expectations. So I thought the
Yeah.
trailers didn't look very good either. It was actually
Yeah, no,
better
they
than.
don't.
But I mean,
Honestly, I have forgot I'd even seen any trailers. That's how boring the trailers look to me.
yeah.
So,
Well, I've stopped kind of doing trailer twos because most of the time, second trailers are the ones that give away like the whole plot. So I've stopped kind of
mhm.
doing that as much, and I think it's been helping. I've been like surprised more to these movies, so that's good. Um, yeah, I mean, I would go check this out in the theaters. I thought it was a good time at the movies. One of the better action movies. this year. Um, like an actual fun summer popcorn movie. Um, yeah, I'm kind of surprised that I liked it as much as I did. Um, but I think I like all the Bad Boys movies. I mean, I like Bad Boys, the first two. I thought the last one was not good. I'd probably do it'd probably be one. This one's four. One, four, two, three. So,
I don't even remember. I've definitely seen them. I don't even remember them. I can't give you an order
the
of.
first one, they're basically just detectives, like just being
Mhm.
detectives. It's not like this. So, uh, yeah, they're trying to do like Fast and the Furious now. It's not really just being
Yeah.
detectives anymore. So, um, so yeah, but that's how I feel. But I mean, I understand. Yeah, so decent.
All
Would
right.
you say go
Cool.
see it or what?
Um, I mean, I don't know if you're paying for these movies, but I don't think this is good enough to spend $25 for two people to go see. I don't think it's worth that money.
Gotcha. Yeah,
But
I'm thinking about doing that AMC thing where you get the thing. Well, I currently don't have a job, but I will be starting a new job very, very soon. So, and it may or may not be at a place where I can see movies. So, um, we'll see what
gotcha.
happens. But yeah, probably won't be paying for movies. But yeah, I mean, been going to the cheap theater. Been-
Well, all I'm saying is if you want a stance change of going to see these movies in theaters, start paying for them and you'll change your mind.
It's not true. I've paid for a lot of movies. I most of the time when I would go somewhere or I bring friends, I would be the one paying for everybody. I've
Well,
always
yeah,
had
no one
no
else wants to see
I've
them,
always
so
had no problem paying for movies, and most of the time I'd want to see movies that were like smaller movies and that weren't in big theaters, so I'd have to pay for them because I'd be going to see them by myself, not at the theaters I worked at. So
yeah.
I've paid for a lot of movies. Don't get it twisted, and I've paid lots of money for them. So I know
Okay. Well,
you're a different story, but whatever. So yeah,
alrighty. Well,
you see
I think that
matinee.
wraps up our episode. I will see you guys on the next one. Until then.
This has been the Daniel and Andrew Show.